Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. We'd like to present to you uh, lesson 6 of what I've learned from a book called Consulting for Equity. And I'm just going to talk about some main points that I learned about that and what you can learn as well. Let's dive right into it here. So, first, I want to talk about partners instead of clients. This is a mind shift. And what I'm referring to specifically is that business people are willing to give money away, but simply because you know that if I'm working to 10x or 20x revenue, then 25% of that is a drop in the bucket compared to what they stand to earn from the investment. Okay, so they're investing a little bit and they're getting a lot in return. Now, how to get consulting for equity partners and how to demonstrate your value so that they are willing to give you a portion of your wealth. Of their wealth, sorry, not your wealth, their wealth. First thing you need to do is you need to make your plan. One of the best investments they can make is to trade equity for dollars because essentially they don't have to pay more or anything upfront. It forces you as a consultant to put your money, as they say, put your money where your mouth is and to prove the return on your investment. Now, what you need to do is you need to essentially, in what I've learned is I essentially need to vet opportunities by deciding if it's a business they want to own equity in and part of growing. I want them to impress me with their potential so that I can invest my time into helping them reach it. Now, the next step is you need to pre-frame your desire to consult for equity. By framing the conversation around the idea of consulting for equity from the start, you help them to have the mindset that if they're going to get closer to the goals they want, they have to make investments. So this is not about an expense or a cost; it's about an investment. So it's basically it's a matter of how you look at it. Is the glass half empty or half full? Now, here's some questions. Had they thought of doing a mastermind upsell? So instead of basically they could do a mastermind and get customers that way. So that's a small amount of customers, and you charge higher fee. You or the customer who doing it can charge a higher fee, and only a few of them. Excuse me. So, did they have a coaching plan in place? Was there a 12-month program they could grow? Okay. Should I need to bold that. So let's say you went in and structured the mastermind, helped them build a coaching program, was able not only to 10x the original project, but had ongoing cash flow due to the fact that for example, you could now have equity in each of these franchises. So, the questions before you start up should be, what type of customers can you really help the most? This has been what I've been talking about in my previous lessons, the first 5 or previous ones. Second question, does your ideal customer have money to spend? Question number 3, are they aware of the problems or problem they have? Problem or problems they have. Now, if you are able to answer the questions in the positive, then equity is a simple next step. So what you want to do is to see, is this the company you want to work with? Can you get equity from this company? Okay, these are the questions you ask. So if you can help the company, if they have money to spend and they are, excuse me, and if they are aware, they can be likely to have a good opportunity for consulting for equity. Now, the next question you should ask yourself is, do you see a clear path for scalability? Okay, can you grow the business from smaller to larger scale? Can you see them growing 10x or more in the coming years? What you want to do is you want to start with an investment, but you want to make it 10 times more. Remember that you're charging equity, so that's why. So suppose the company was worth $100,000 as a baseline, and now it's worth $1,000,000. Well, the company just profited 900,000, and even if you give them 250,000 as an equity, and 900 minus 250 still means there's a profit of 650,000 in terms of your profit. Do you believe in them enough to invest in them? Well, that's a question you should ask. Can you see yourself partnering with them in years to come? So this is long term. There's another question to ask. Now, what I recommend is a simple 10x flat fee pricing model. This makes it easy to calculate, but it also makes it so your promised deliverables is the one that's hard to resist. Basically making an offer they can't refuse. Now to calculate this, just figure out your expected return. If you think of it along those lines, it is given a given time block. Say for example half day. You can figure that out. And then the other thing is you want to believe that you can reach a certain outcome. Sort of already implied, but that's another thing. So you're going to be results and outcome dependent. Okay, that's the point. Now, when there is an undetermined time to achieve an outcome, i.e., or for example, you are going to revamp the sales pipeline and lead follow process, but it could take several months, then hourly is better. So if it takes longer, you want to go with hourly. One way to determine a good hourly rate is to figure out your target income per month and then divide it by the number of hours you want to work. Okay, that's something basic for you to consider. Now this is called the 9 equity models. I put this on the next page because it won't fit on the remainder space of the page. Now I'm going to go over the 9 equity models. The first one is perform and ask models. That's for models 1 through 5. And then for models 6 through 9, you have the equity from the start. And let's talk about what they are. And so, okay, so the first one is free discovery day. Model number one. Model number 2 is paid discovery day. Model number 3 is paid half day consult. Model 4 is straight hours to equity. Model 5 is results to equity. And then you have guaranteed equity from the start 6 through 9, which is 6 is earn-in, 7 is time-based equity, number 8 is triggered pseudo equity, and by the way, that's going to include stocks or other investments. And model number 9 is straight equity, which is what we were talking about earlier. Now, here are some things to consider. How much equity should you ask for? Now that's going to be based performance-based deals that vary greatly and should be calculated based upon ROI, which stands for return on investment. Now, for the first strategy, for strategy 1, you want to look for an advisory deal. What that's going to be is that advisory deals generally don't garner a huge percentage, but they often are small slices of big pies. Okay, so $1 of a million. Excuse me. 1% of a million is definitely more than 1% of 100, okay, or even $10. Now, for strategy number 2, you want to look at an operational deal. An operational deal, you get hired to just go into as an operational role. Most operational deals fall between 5 to 50 points. Okay, let's look at strategy number 3. It's time-based or project-based deal. You get equity in exchange for consulting for a given amount of time or the completion of a given project. Most time-based and project-based deals are between 5 to 10 points. Okay, that is in terms of percentage. For strategy number 4, this is a performance-based deal. You can tell your client that you're going to achieve the results that they want can be anywhere from 5% or less, or as much as 75% or more. It depends. Performance-based deals are vary greatly and should be calculated based on an expected ROI. So these are our main ones. They've mentioned there's 9. Um, Here's another important point before I finish is that don't get overwhelmed by the details. First thing you should understand is you need to pre-frame your desire to fulfill your plan. Number 2, you need to execute your genius and deliver the value. I'll have them begging you to take equity and keep them taking it. So genius would be your brilliant ideas and understanding. And it's basically a genius compared to what they have. So it's very relative, but it depends on the value you bring to the table. All right. So that will finish. And some of that, like for example, the pseudo equity, I didn't exclude all this. Results, equities based upon purely results. Earning is what you're doing. This is that would be what you earn while you're doing the job. Time based, time for money. Time based is hourly rate. Triggered pseudo is you get a benefit. For example, one investment such as stocks or something like that. You get a benefit based upon what results you choose. So it can be, in this case, can be something like something that you don't want. It's not already realized, but for example, you can get it in terms of stocks. And straight equity, of course, is just you get equity on your results. All right. So you do the work and then you get equity, basically. Where's that? Results based. Yeah, results to equity is you get equity based upon the results. Straight equity is just you do this work, you get equity. Pretty basic, right? All right. So I'm gonna end it here. Before I end this presentation, would like to thank you for taking the time to watch this, as you could be watching any other academic or any other informational video. But you watching mine, so I greatly appreciate it. As it did provide value to you to explain to you about partners instead of clients, what I'd like you to do is please click like on the video. That way you'll be pushing the algorithm, more people will be able to view it and enjoy it. Also, if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll have access to all the content on my channel, as I do have a variety of content on this channel. And also, if you haven't already, please click the bell button. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos. That is, when my new videos come out, you'll be able to view it, enjoy it, and benefit from that. So I'd like to I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I'd like to wish you a great day wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I'll certainly talk to you next time.